Raise your hands. If you don't, you must. And this especially is to the college students out there. It's very important out there. What are people talking about you? If you're not found, you don't even exist. Make the most of it. If an auto driver can do it, why can't we? And the main reason why we should do that, be very active on various places on the internet. It could be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Delicious, you name it, on blogs. It's important because we care about ourselves more than anyone else. So our learning potential is so much more higher. We learn what are the things to be done, not to be done. Then we can take those lessons and apply it onto a brand. We can apply it onto a company. And the effectiveness is so much more better. How many of us here have an email ID? Put your hands down. How many of you have an email ID which is not a free email ID? Which means you should only raise your hands if it is not a Gmail, if it is not a Yahoo, if it is not a Hotmail. Raise your hands. What's your email ID? k@tnq.in. Okay, that scores. Tick. Anyone else? Go ahead, some of you raised your hands. At phoenix.in. You know what? Kick out, don't use free email IDs at all. It's one of the really good lessons you could take. Get yourself in your own name, get yourself a domain name, and get yourself a custom email ID.
I can give you even a smarter tip.
Yeah.
Get yourself a cheap paid email ID and then post it on Google, which is what I do. So you get unlimited bandwidth, unlimited server space, you get all Google services. But for the outside world, it's not a Gmail ID.
I think Basic does it.
I have all my company mail IDs on Google. Yeah. So I've stopped storing mails on my own computers. I've freed up hard disk space. Google stores everything. We search on Google. We do everything on Google, and wherever we go around the world, it's all available for us to use. Yeah?
So for outside, it is query at tnq.in. But the backend, it's completely on Gmail. And Gmail is the world's best email service ever. You know, the best spam.
Kripa, I'm a little worried about Gmail. It has so much of my matter which I don't have anywhere else. One of these days they can blackmail all of us collectively. Really?
It could happen. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, all our information is anyway online. You know, if it is not Gmail, you'll have to give it to someone else, right? Unless you, in your kitchen, you set up your own computer, you have own lease line connection with 24-hour backup and stuff like that, then you'll be safe. I'll tell you what, that'll never happen. Right? So just trust professionals. You know, they're doing a damn good job.
The more successful they are, the more worried I am. You know, when you reach the pinnacle of success, they can twist us all our tails.
Yeah, or worse, they don't even have to twist us. What happens if the data center gets bombed? What happens to all our content? Right? So I mean, that's a risk.
Backed up in 3 different locations.
Yeah, I'm sure people have figured that out.
Where you can erase all your tracks on social media. Every post you put.
No, I'm worried about retrieval. I'm worried about not being able to.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if someone is worried about blackmail, you can activate that, and the whole thing gets wiped out.
The other way. I lose all the data. Where do I run?
I don't think you lose the data because it's backed up very intensively in different locations.
Let's take this very talk itself. See the guy with the camera? He's recording this, and it'll come up as a CD. Most times I've found that we are brilliant in recording, and then it comes up on a CD, we do nothing. Now, all this video will be split into 5-minute small mobisodes sort of a thing, and will be put online for people to watch. For each example, each case study will be put as a separate one. It will be up on YouTube for people to see. It's now getting live. Is it live? Online? Okay. So, but internet isn't working, anyways. Right? I think it's net connection.
And I'm trying to call somebody in America to say, if I was running it today, I would run it entirely on Google Search. So it will never work.
Oh! Can you wave, guys? Oh, wave. Can you wave, guys? Yeah, it's about 20 seconds delay, I'm sure. But I'll tell you what, it's an extremely simple technology. You know, she's out there from a company called Purple Stream, and you know, anyway we are recording this, what have we got to lose? Now I can embed this straight into my Facebook account, and people can come, it will appear on their streams, and they can watch this without stepping out of their home. People could be in Delhi, people could be in Auckland, in New York. You know, simple things, you know, it's just right there in front of us and we fail to utilize it. Simple things like our email ID, for example. Now, you see the lady out there, Ashoka, she has a camera out there and she keeps taking pictures. What she does is she immediately downloads it onto their computer. It is out there on Picasa and on Flickr with tags. So if Mr. Rajan's photo is taken, it will be tagged with Mr. Rajan's Facebook account, which means this photo will appear on his account out there, you know. So, you know, and all these photos go up, each one of us can tag each other up, and it's a kind of a network. For example, I'll tell you what, all of us had this vada and rava. If we were busy eating vada and rava, I don't think any one of us really went around and shook hands and really met people. You know, you walk out of this hall, 99% of the people you will never keep in touch again. People that you don't know. Now what if on Facebook, if all of us who are attending can be, you know, would have just registered our members out there, at any point of time you can just reconnect. What does it take? Extremely simple. What did it take you? About 20 seconds of your time? But do we do that? We don't. You know, I should have done that, I didn't. Aska, do you have that placard that you have? Okay, it's very safe. I should have shown this to you first. So the hashtag for this talk is Gyan Series. Right? That's the name of the thing. So if you're putting any one of your photos, if you're writing a blog, if you're putting a video on YouTube, if you're doing an audio podcast, putting photos, a tweet, or Facebook, just put Gyan Series. When you go back home, each one of us taking any photo or any tweet or Facebook or anything, you can get everything in one single place. You know, again, extremely simple. All we need to do is just take care of hashtag and do that. Again, simple things. Do we do that? We don't. Maybe we should.
But I think here again is subjective. Because you're really speaking from your perspective and the way you use social media.
Okay.
In fact, when you were in South Africa, because we were communicating on various issues, there were other people in South Africa with you who wanted to add me as their friend. Now that didn't make any sense to me because they're not my friends.
Yep.
You know? So the thing is that similarly, while this is a nice talk and I'm enjoying myself, etc., I certainly do not want to leave this room and add everyone in this room as a friend of mine on Facebook.
I'm not saying add it on your Facebook query. I'm saying that there could be one events page called the Gyan Series, where all the people who attended can be part of that event page, and then you can selectively choose who you want. You know, I think gone are the days when, you know, we exchange cards. I'll tell you what, I completely lose cards after I take them out, right? Which is why we go and quickly add them over Facebook or LinkedIn, and you're there forever. You may change companies, you may change your email IDs, but we will track you until you die. Mr. Rajan gave me this. Where's my bag? He very promptly took 30 passes. I think he was worried people may not turn up, so he gave me 30 passes and said that please invite people. I didn't even give one. Why would I step out of my building, go give this out? It's just too much. We just used, you know, Facebook, Twitter and stuff like that and invited, and people did come. You know, so I think we should really start using technology. It's just no rocket science, I think. So that's the point I was trying to make. Give one. I'm going to end this up with a small incident that happened when I was 7 years old. My grandfather was a chain smoker. So one day, you know, he put his half-smoked cigarette down, and I quickly went, picked up the tundu cigarette, went behind a tree, and started to puff. My dad saw this. He came, he caught me by the scruff of my neck and gave me 2 thuds, pachak, pachak. And the car was going in, you know, I couldn't feel that. My grandfather, my tata came, he yanked me away from my dad's grasp. And he did something it's completely unthinkable. You know what he did? He took a cigarette packet, put out a brand new cigarette and gave it to me. Ipadra. You're a knuckle பண்றாரா இல்ல நிஜமாவே கொடுக்கறாரா, I didn't know, but I thought he was a damn cool tata. You know? And then he gave it to me. When I was sitting looking at him perplexed, he walked inside the room, inside the house. He picked up his x-ray. He came back and he showed it to me. It was of his lungs, and on one of the things I remember was this white patch, and he said, "There's lung cancer." The reason why your dad hit you was because he didn't want you to get lung cancer. He explained that to me, and since then I've never touched a cigarette. But if my dad had just stopped with that two slaps out there, the rebel in me would have woken up and said, I would have, Maranjan, I would have still done it just to prove that. I think it's the same thing with technology, I think. But it's, we have so many things out there, but we're not giving it a try. We're not dirtying our hands. We're not trying to figure out what is it that it can do for us. What is it it can do to me? What is it it can do to our brand? Everything has its own negatives and benefits. And I think we're just shying away, just thinking about what might happen. I think it's important for us to use every single technology. For example, Foursquare is now the raging thing in the US. It's probably not even set its footprint here in India. But if you're right out here, and if you go to Express Avenue, there's a coffee shop that will give you a 20% discount just because you're in Express Avenue. How do you know? Because he knows that you've checked into Foursquare using Google Maps and stuff like that. You're physically out there, and he captures your attention, lures you to come and have that coffee in his shop. There are various other things. What can we do using that for ourselves and for our company? So I'm going to leave you with that thought, and let's really make the most of what we have. Thank you so much.